Hey guys, so as you can see we're going to be taking a look at Mannatar, the amazing 3 self-fusion legendary in this breakdown video. So without further ado, let's get into just a little bit of a background with it. Alright, so let's get into it. So first off, we see that the rare version of Mannatar is Sentinel and the epic version of Mannatar is Vanga. It is a T3 Fire Hemi Warlock with Scorch as its rare version, Scorch All as its epic version, and then finally the skill the skill that we really like, which is Clamor All. It's an elite skill, so it hits pretty hard. It was first available in the First Sign event. It was actually a dot birthday fighter. So for a couple events you could get really easy access to Sentinel, Vanga, and Mannatar. And it really made it so it could be standardized, which is one of the reasons why I really like this legendary, and another reason why I'm making a video about him. So as we scroll down just a little bit, we see that the rare has mediocre starting skill first off, and then stats second. It's epic, slightly better. Makes a decent part of a team. However, it really is superseded by the legendary, which is absolutely amazing. As you see, its final maxed out stats are just above 6,000 HP, just above 10,000 attack, just above 5,000 defense, just above 8,000 wisdom, and just under 1,000 agility, though the agility really isn't needed at this point. So, being that this is a warlock, this is one really big reason why I feel that Mannatar has definitely earned its place as a essential fighter to the game. It has over 6,000 HP. Now, normally this would be aided in very little bits by its defense, which would normally for a warlock be very low. However, in this case, it's above 5,000. Now, this is pretty awesome, because when you take this into consideration, you get all of the buffs that DNA likes to put out for warlocks, and you get this without any of the expenses of attack or wisdom that would aid its Clamor All ability. And I feel like that's absolutely fantastic. It has over 10,000 attacks, so you never really lose out on that, and with some HP super fusions, it can get up to over 8,000 very easily. With 8,000 HP, it's a crazy good tank, and you can definitely use it in pretty much any band. If we scroll down just a little bit, first of all, you see that the 2 cooldown is its final, after 2 self-fusions, it has a 2 cooldown on Clamor All, which makes it really good and relevant to the meta, especially because in between each turn it can hit with like a smash from a gear, or its normal attack with over 10,000 with a gear, or without a gear at 3 out of 3. Definitely packs a punch. So if you can get it to proc with that, you'll be in a good standing. So scrolling down a bit, we see that the 1 out of 3 max HP is over 5,000, and generally follows suit for the rest of its stats. It really has a great first super fusion, and then no self fusion rather. It has a really great no self fusion stats, and really great first and second self fusion stats. I actually have a 2 self fusion Mannatar right now that I'm going to be showing off a little bit later in the video. So it was first introduced in the First Sign. There are a few quotes. It doesn't have any color swaps yet, wasn't a part of a build or anything. And yeah, overall, as you can see, a lot of people on the wiki definitely agree that it is worth having in your band as band levy. Yeah, definitely Definitely a very, very good fighter, and let's get into the actual gameplay so I can show you guys why I personally use it. So this is my Mannatar. If you'd like to see that, 1 second, let's get to its screen really quick. It's wielding my twin sawtooths right now, so it has over 10,000 attack, which, as I'm about to show you, is absolutely crazy in dungeons. It has over 7,200 wisdom, over 6,200 HP, over 2,000 agility, and about 4660 defense. So it's pretty good. Right now my super fusions on it aren't great. I got it like this. So it has about 700 extra HP, which is awesome, don't get me wrong. I really like that. The agility is kind of strange, I think, personally, but it puts it up ahead of some of the other tanks like Tishpak. So it can hit Tishpak and kill Tishpak easily, and that's definitely something that I have no problems with. Here, let's go over and kill some stuff really quick. Oh, okay, let's kill one of my friends. How about that? Dilgons, welcome to the video, friend. Alright, so yeah, this is going to be a slaughterhouse. As you can see, Clamoral is pretty awesome. It has 2 smaller multipliers, 1 heavy multiplier, and it hits hard. Hopefully we can get some procs off just to show exactly how it works. Yeah, 6,000 damage for a normal hit though. 6,600 damage for a normal hit. And then lower multiplier for the skill hits 10,300. So not bad, not bad. Come on, twin sawtooth proc. It does a lot of damage though, it's crazy. So at this point all the Akuppies have died. Yeah, 10,800 damage on a smash proc. That's insane. And then lower multiplier again. But as you can see, this definitely functions a lot like a tank would, not as a warlock. And if this was a normal tank, I don't know if it would have the same position in this list, this breakdown list that I'm trying to form. But it is a warlock, so it definitely has a place in this list. It's a tank and it's a warlock, and right now DNA is trying to force the whole warlock meta on the player base, and that means giving out a bunch of bonuses to warlocks. And then I guess last week, or last PvP event rather, we saw the warlocks and single target gurus, well actually gurus in general, all target gurus were kind of useless though. We saw the single target gurus get a lot of bonuses in the form of 30% extra edge. With their whole increasing and decreasing edge, they decided to do that to classes. So by having a warlock, you're inherently going to have better chances of getting the DNA edge that they're trying to give out, just because they're trying to shift the meta from the really crazy tanky champs and the preempt all rogues that have been dominating the game for a very long time over to the gurus and warlocks who have been kind of neglected at this point. So it wouldn't necessarily be a great buy if it was a champ, because of all of these different things that they're trying to implement to get rid of the power that they have over the game right now. But it's a warlock, and that just makes it better instantly, without any thought about its skill or its stats, even though it has great stats and would still be relatively notable if it was a champ. So overall, I feel like Mannatar is absolutely amazing and can be used in lots of different builds. And I will actually, in just a second, have my PvP band that I'm going to be using for a little while with Mannatar in it, so stay tuned. 1 second. So this is my PvP band. As you can see, I have a line of Amoralis. One of them is OK Super Fusions for attack, so not bad, not bad. I have a Tishpak line that I'm still working on leveling, but they're also still not bad. They work great in PvP, works like a charm. I have a preempt gear on to add to the agility on my middle Amaralis just to make it so if there's something that's a little bit faster than it, it still has a chance of outspeeding it and getting the first preempt in, possibly killing it. So that's just a little bit of that explanation of my PvP band. But anyways, I have two Parvice that substitute as all target gurus in PvP. I know, I can hear you cringing through the screen. Literally hearing it right now, the cringes are loud. Anyways, as you can see, I'm definitely substituting them in where all target gurus or even Sologrands or something similar of a single target guru should be. However, I don't have the bitters for that right now. So, yeah, I just finished my Amaralis line, and I haven't even super fused them yet. Or my Tish packs for that matter. So they kind of take a backseat to those. So they also complement my Mannatar really well, and I'll tell you why. So first, Parvice has Squall, which is every other turn. So it can clear out a lot of different enemies right away without any procs from gear or anything. Additionally, this has a 2 cooldown Clamorall, as I explained earlier. And with its power, it can go as a support to clear up anything that the Parvice's Squall doesn't kill, which in a lot of events would probably be all 3 of them, but it works as an all-target guru, so I'm not complaining. The Mannatar is the most essential part of this entire thing because it's really the cleanup on my team. With the champs that have procs that go like 2 or 3 cooldowns, you obviously won't be able to use your Tish pack line as a champ line. It'll just be kind of tanks for the preempt line. With the preempt line, you don't necessarily get the power that you need to out of your line to kill the champs necessarily. Sometimes it works, but most of the time it won't with a high quality line of champs. And then you get to my middle line, which is the Parvices, and finally the cleanup, which is Mannatar. And as you can see, the Mannatar is my center. It has the 10% pop boost, so that's absolutely fantastic. Puts it up over 11,000 attack. And I think, if I remember correctly, 6,700 HP. So it can take a hit, for sure. Has more HP than a Tish pack, and if I remember correctly, yeah, definitely just about, if not more. Yeah, just about as much defense. It doesn't have more defense until it's maxed out. It has very similar defense. But like I said, it's nothing to scoff at, nothing to discount, because it has the HP to make up for it for sure. So, definitely a team that works very well together and complements each other well as well. Words. But, that's why I'm using Mannatar, and also just because I'd like to show you guys something really quick. Now, at a high price, Mannatar obviously wouldn't be worth it. But, as you can see here, maybe this isn't the best. Okay, here we go. So, this is a 140 bitters self-fusion for Mannatar. And as you can see, its stats are fantastic at 0 out of 3 with maxed out level. It just gets better. And with 3 cooldown, it's not the greatest, but it's a really great center that pretty much everyone can use as a tank, even if they don't necessarily have a band that complements it well. It can still be used very, very well in almost any band in any scenario. I actually use it also in raid events, because with an Inspirit band, even with just like 2 successful Inspirits, it can hit hard enough to take down the 1 million HP bosses, and if you get lucky, you can take down 2 million HP bosses with 3 BP, obviously. This is fantastic as well because it seems to scale extremely well off of attack. Its skill does. So overall, it's pretty much an all-purpose warlock. which, as I mentioned earlier, is just kind of inherently better because DNA is going to try to give buffs to warlocks to make them more relevant in the meta. Because, as we all know, champs and preempt all rogues kind of dominate the meta. So they're going to try to nerf those and buff these as much as they possibly can, while still being somewhat reasonable. And as you can see by these prices, which aren't great right now, I will admit, but they were a few days ago. It's a great buy, really, and you can get it for 100. If you get lucky, you can get it like I did for 100 bitters per self fusion. Like I got mine for 300 bitters, like I mentioned, which is insane. And it also has 1 HP super fusion that's great. And I can just replace the other agility super fusions if I really want to replace them, which at this point I really don't see a problem with. So overall, that's just my experience with the usability of Mannatar. And I hope this helped out quite a bit because in my experience, I feel like he's definitely worth picking up, and with how versatile he is and usable he is in pretty much every event, it's definitely something to consider when picking out a center or even just a champ center for your champ line in your band. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I really do. I'm going to make a lot more of these breakdown videos. I just like to throw out there, if you guys really want to see a specific video on a specific fighter, I do take donations or just lending the fighter. If you have a fighter and you'd like to see a video made on it, I do take donations or just lending fighters. So just let me know via PM or comment if you're interested in doing that, because I don't have unlimited funds at this point, so I can't necessarily do all that I'd want to in the way of making all of these videos. I will be making one on Amoralis, I will be making one on Parvice, and I will be making one on Tishpak. And I already have those, so that's fine. I don't have much else, and I can't see myself making enough bitters to fully support all the videos that I'd like to make on the breakdown. So if you guys feel like helping, then it would be appreciated, but not at all required, and I'm not going to bring it up after this. So thank you guys very much for watching, really appreciate it as always. Hope you got something out of this video. Go pick up a Mannatar before they go up in price. With Dioscori's release, I can't say for sure whether its price will stay consistent or not, so maybe you ought to look into picking one up now. Maybe wait until after Dioscori comes out and is relatively stable on the market, because it's looking to be somewhat of a replacement for Mannatar, and I definitely think that if you have a mid to high end band like I do, then you could definitely use a Mannatar as a center. So thank you guys for watching, really appreciate it, and until next time, good night.